He lacks some stature, and his biggest weakness is that this guy is so tough that he'll welcome hits that will knock him out in the NFL level. So that would be my only concern is durability, because he'll stand in there and take that hit. He's courageous, but it's NFL defensive players and they win typically.
Okay, yeah, I have some reservations beyond just a couple of things. I mean, so he's aggressive. I like the way he throws, but the way they're talking about him as a passer reminds me of Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins was more aggressive than Jimmy Garoppolo, would push the ball down the field more than Jimmy Garoppolo, would have games where he's looking really nice, accurate, and aggressive. And then he would start throwing picks. And at a certain point, he would look like, man, this guy's a backup quarterback. He needs to stop doing this and just manage the game. And I feel like I've seen this a lot of times. I haven't seen that much of Purdy, so I don't know what to expect. But with backup quarterbacks on the 49ers or around the league, look at Bailey Zappi or whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah.
Guy comes in, maybe in relief, looks great. No tape on him. No game plan for him. Looks really nice. Maybe he keeps it going for 2-3 weeks. Eventually, there's more tape. There's a game plan. There's a sense of his strengths and weaknesses, and it falls apart. And then he's on the bench, and you don't see him for a while. So I guess just the big picture knowledge of what backup quarterbacks tend to do. That's how it usually goes. If he's more than a backup quarterback, he'll show it. But if he's a backup quarterback, how much can you really expect from him? He hasn't had any first-team reps all year. Now they're trying to, get him started. At least he's got experience to fall back on.
I mean, they're definitely – it's the NFL. It's pro sports. They're going to try to turn off your water. They're going to try to take away your first read. They're going to try to make him throw it outside the numbers. But this player with this group of weapons, if he just plays within himself and takes whatever – the defense gives him. And I think he's disciplined and smart enough and competitive enough to do exactly that. If he just takes what the defense gives him, gets the ball out on time, keeps playing with the same poise, he doesn't need to do anything different than what he's doing right now. I think he's going to be generally pretty effective. I'm not saying he's Mahomes, but he's got some traits that Mahomes has. For example, Mahomes is not a burner, but Mahomes has incredible 5 or 7 step quickness to get away from the rush. This guy is not a burner, but he does have some another level speed wise he can get to escape the rush. So I like that about him. And then what I also like is I saw Mullins as a guy who oftentimes wouldn't stay with his mechanics as far as stepping into throws. And then his arm was just totally weak. This guy is more disciplined and seems like he understands the need to step into his throws, and his footwork is really, really good. I think much better than Mullins. So we'll see how it all shakes out. But I don't think Mullins is a good comparison.
I feel like there were a few passes in this game that he got kind of lucky on and could have got intercepted. There were a few ones where I'm holding my breath, and I'm thinking when he goes against a better defense, I'm not counting him out, but I'm curious because I've seen this happen with backup quarterbacks a lot. So you're saying if he just takes what the defense gives him and plays within himself, all right, manage the game, don't turn the ball over, and most importantly, stay healthy. If he goes down, it's over, if it's not already over. So he needs to stay healthy in a way that Jimmy Garoppolo never figured out how to do. That's almost his most important job. See if he can do it. Let's see if they can help him stay healthy.
Go to the next down. Use your weapons. He's
don't do too much. Don't do too much because you don't have to be Patrick Mahomes. Even though Larry sees some Patrick Mahomes in Brock Purdy,
I see some Patrick.
You don't have to be that. Just be Trent Dilfer. Be like a vet, and he is a vet. I mean, for a rookie, he's one of the more experienced rookies you could imagine. So play like a vet. Be Trent Dilfer. Don't make it about you. Because a lot of times I felt like Jimmy, he'd be doing it for 3 weeks, and then he just couldn't freaking help himself, and he would play outside of himself, and he's not that good. Don't do that, Brock. Just be the game manager and let the defense win the game and distribute the ball like you did in this last game, and go down when you're about to go down, or don't get hurt. I don't know. He did it at Iowa State, right?
Your assumption, I think that you're kind of assuming that what we saw was the best of Brock, and that it's all downhill from here. I mean, think about it this way. He just took a test publicly that he really was probably only studying for halfway, right? Because he's taken that test.
That's true.
He's preparing to play every week,
true.
but never playing.
Didn't get first team reps. He was with the scouts. You're right.
This week he gets first team reps. He gets
That's true.
And the game plan maybe catered to what he does well. Maybe the plays that throws that he likes to make, the windows that he likes to exploit.
All I'm saying is,
and all the mental breakdown of Tampa. I just think that we got a glimpse at Brock. I expect Brock to be more this week the way he's actually going to play.
But all I'm saying is, with backup quarterbacks, often even good ones, their first game will be really good. And then the more exposure they have to the league and the league has to them benefits the league because they're backup quarterbacks. And you have,
and they have a flaw.
Really, yeah, and it's not their fault. Yeah. So all I'm saying is, I kind of expect, Nick Mullins' first appearance was great. Beathard's first appearance, I remember Beathard's first appearance, he lost to Washington, but that team was awful and he played gritty. And everyone was talking about how he had the it factor that week. Yeah. And then look at him 4 weeks later, he was beat up, not his fault. And Jimmy Garoppolo was in. Everyone forgot about C.J. Beathard. I do think this is the best backup they've had. He's better than Beathard and Mullins. I agree. But
he might be better than Jimmy. And before you laugh at that, look at their resumes.
I'm not laughing.
No, but look at their resumes. Jimmy, the ultimate stat. And now there's obviously, if you played for SC, Matt Leinart had great numbers. And, if you play for a juggernaut, that's one thing. But Jimmy was 500. At whatever Eastern Illinois,
Eastern
500,
West.
500.
Yeah.
23 wins, 22 losses. Brock Purdy has a much more favorable record as playing for Iowa State in the Big 12. So I don't know. Jimmy's a little bigger, a little bit more of a natural arm, obviously a quicker release. But Brock, I think, sees it better, is more accurate. He's about an inch shorter, a little quicker. I think he has a better account for the field. I think you're going to see him take care of the football. A little less of an arm, but if he can step into it, he's got enough arm. So I think he's going to play pretty good. The question though is, can he stay healthy? Because he is the kind of guy that, like, when he rolled right, Grant, and then he stopped and he got smoked. Was it Van Ginkel or whoever it was from behind?
I was like,
that was like the Leonard Marshall, Joe Montana play.
Yeah, it was bad. And I feel like he's got a little bit of like, I'm a playmaker. I can make plays. Like, yeah, but one of these times you're going to run right into something. Be careful because that's been hurting Jimmy Garoppolo for years, is doing a little bit too much. So but again, he seems like, even though he's adjusting to the speed of the NFL, he's an experienced guy. I think knows what he's going to do. I don't know. I'm afraid that in like 3 weeks, someone's going to be like, okay, this is it. And he's going to throw 3 picks and it's going to be like, what? Well, he's a backup. And it's like, and if that happens in 4 weeks, you can't be mad at him. Because it's like, rookie, last pick in the draft. He could end up being a legitimate, really good backup quarterback for 10 years for the 49ers. And all you're really asking him to do is win in stretches. It's not fair that he has to essentially now bring the Niners to the Super Bowl. It's like, okay, I'll try. What do you want from me?
The guy is rare between the ears and here. And, here, this guy's rare. Like, I'll say this. To me, when you're looking at that camera, the end zone camera, and you get the close-up of the quarterback's face pre-snap, I think you're getting a little bit of a picture into at least his I don't know, not his mindset, but maybe his temperament. Go watch Nick Mullins from the end zone and go watch Brock Purdy, and then go watch like Aaron Rodgers. Brock Purdy looks way more like Aaron Rodgers back there than Nick Mullins. As far as Mullins would have this kind of helter-skelter looking around, Rodgers is like kind of bored. He's like, and Purdy has that calm. He really should not be calm like that. To me, that's about seeing it, feeling it, being in your playbook, the mental reps. This kid's a lot better than people think. He's just kind of built in a smaller quarterback package.
All right, you've compared him to Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. I think we need to move on before you compare him to Joe Montana. No, I appreciate
Montana you. But as far as that calm does tell you.
I agree. That totally came through. It totally, even more so than Jimmy Garoppolo, who can get a little skittish if you hit him once or twice.